In the final months of World War II, as Germany collapsed and millions were captured across Europe, German women were taken into Allied custody. Some were nurses, some were auxiliaries, some were civilians caught in the chaos. They expected interrogation. They feared punishment. Some even expected starvation. But on their very first day inside the camp, they were given a command so strange, so unexpected, that many of them froze in confusion. "Show us your feet." Why would enemy guards demand something like that? "Stay until the end," because the real reason behind this order shocked and changed these women forever. The collapse that captured them. By late 1944 and early 1945, Germany was breaking apart. Cities were turned into rubble. Rail lines were shattered. Refugee columns stretched for miles across frozen roads. As Allied forces pushed east through France, Belgium, and into Germany, they captured not only soldiers, but also huge numbers of German women. Many had been attached to military units as nurses or auxiliaries. Others were civilians caught between collapsing fronts. International law required that many of these women be processed through Allied-controlled internment and POW facilities, especially when their status could not immediately be verified. For most of them, captivity began not with cages or cells, but with transport trucks, barbed wire enclosures, and overcrowded intake centres. And that was where the real danger began. The enemy no one expected. The Allies had learned a brutal lesson earlier in the war. Disease could defeat an army faster than artillery. In North Africa, in Italy, and on the Eastern Front, trenchfoot, typhus, dysentery, lice infestations and untreated infections had crippled entire formations. A single sick prisoner in an overcrowded camp could spark an outbreak that unalived hundreds. By 1944, Allied medical units no longer took chances. Every prisoner, soldier or civilian, man or woman, would be medically screened the moment they entered a camp. Not to punish them, to stop epidemics before they started. The strange command. After the women were processed, searched for weapons and separated by status, they were moved into makeshift medical intake stations. Doctors checked hands. They parted hair to look for lice. They examined skin for rashes and signs of infection. Then came the order that confused nearly everyone. Shoes off. Show us your feet. For many of the women, this moment was deeply uncomfortable. German culture placed strong emphasis on modesty. Removing footwear in front of strangers, enemy doctors, and armed guards felt invasive. Some hesitated. Some protested quietly. A few wept. Most had no idea what the doctors were really looking for, what the doctors saw. When the boots came off, the truth of the retreat was revealed. Many of the women had marched for days in wet socks through snow, mud, and freezing rain. Some had fled ruined cities on foot. Others had spent weeks sheltering in flooded cellars and shattered buildings. Their feet told the story. Swollen toes, skin bruised by frost and moisture, fungal infections spreading across soles and between toes, early stages of trench foot already setting in. In the worst cases, circulation had begun to fail. Toes were turning grey or purple. Infection was spreading into living tissue. Without treatment, amputation would soon follow. In extreme cases, even with fatal consequences. When circulation returned to numb feet during the inspection, the pain was unbearable. Several women collapsed as feelings surged back into tissue that had been almost gone only moments earlier. This was not humiliation, it was emergency medicine. Why this single check saved lives? Trench foot had terrified military doctors throughout the war. In World War I, it had destroyed entire units. In World War II, the risk was still just as fatal. Cold, moisture, poor circulation, and long marches were the perfect recipe for permanent damage. The inspection allowed doctors to immediately separate mild cases from critical ones. Women with serious infections were isolated to prevent spread. Those with frost damage were kept warm and treated with careful circulation therapy. Fungal infections were cleaned and bandaged. Dry socks were issued. In many cases, new shoes replaced boots that had fallen apart from the inside out. For some of these women, this strange first medical inspection likely saved them from losing their feet, their legs, or their lives. Life after the inspection. Once the immediate danger passed, daily camp life began. Some women worked in kitchens under supervision, others in laundry details. Those with medical training were sometimes assigned to assist Allied doctors and nurses under guard. Food was basic but regular. Shelter was crude but dry. Disease outbreaks slowly fell under control. Many women later said that the most frightening moment of their entire captivity was not interrogation, not hunger, and not bombardment. It was standing barefoot on a cold floor, believing they were about to be humiliated, only to realize moments later that the enemy was preventing something far worse. What that moment came to mean. Years after the war, many former prisoners struggled to describe that moment. At the time, it felt degrading. Later, it felt life-saving. It was the instant they understood that captivity did not always mean cruelty. That even in a war that had destroyed continents, there were still rules, still doctors, still men and women trying to prevent unnecessary suffering. The order they would never forget was not shouted in anger. It was spoken quietly. "Show us your feet." The women thought they were about to be shamed. Instead, they were being saved from infections that had already affected thousands of soldiers earlier in the war. Not an act of control, not an act of humiliation, but an act of survival. This is a true World War II story, because sometimes survival begins with the most unexpected command. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more true World War II stories.